The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. On the web, www.xzoneradiotv.com. On social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can always send your emails to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. Well, let's see. In the last hour, we were speaking to Jim Gilchrist, who is the gentleman who is the founder and president of the Minuteman Project that is trying to get some semblance of, well, let's see, he just wants somebody to protect the border between the United States and Canada. And he figures, well, if the government's not going to do it, I'm going to get my posse and away we go. So, Jim, good luck to you and to all the other citizens who are picking up the cause. It reminds me of the olden days when, the sheriff got the posse and they went after the bad guy. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Ryan Mauro. He is the National Security Analyst for the Clarion Project. Their website is ClarionProject.org, which produced the hit films Obsession, The Third Jihad, and Iranium. Now, Ryan is a frequent analyst on Fox News Channel and other news media outlets around the world. He is also a consultant to government agencies and an adjunct professor. Ryan was originally hired in 2002 at the age 16 to be a geopolitical analyst for the Tactical Defense Concepts, a maritime-related security group. His analysis and research has been widely published in places at various places like Front Page Magazine, PJ Media, and the peer-reviewed journal Middle East Quarterly. He has made over 1,000 appearances on radio and television from both the left and the right. This is what I love about this guy. In June 2012, the Muslim Brotherhood's official English-language Twitter page sent out a tweet calling him delusional and a scaremonger. Joining me now is Ryan Mauro. And Ryan, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I've got to ask you, how did you get the title of a, let me see, what do they call you, delusional and a scaremonger? This is coming from the Muslim Brotherhood.
Right, so it's actually a compliment.
Yeah.
Basically what happened there is another outlet translated an Arabic media report saying that the Muslim Brotherhood was having secret meetings in Egypt after they took over electorally to discuss how to implement Sharia law. And I reported on the fact that someone else translated that and the details that were contained inside, so I wasn't even the individual who broke the story or made the initial allegations. But apparently after I wrote about it, it got distributed enough among Egyptians to warrant the Muslim Brotherhood's attention. And they were very upset by it, upset enough to actually call me out by name on Twitter to say that I'm delusional and a scaremonger and to deny the report, only when very shortly after, what did they do? They started implementing Sharia law. So that just shows exactly how deceptive this organization is. But for Americans, when we think of people that are very religious, very devout, we don't think of liars. But for Islamists, those that combine their faith with political doctrine, such type of deception is just par for the course.
Ryan, do you think the fact that you're a national security analyst had something to do with them calling you out? Because, they were gunning after a big guy here.
Well, I mean, I don't think of myself as a big guy. I think what happened is that there were Egyptians who appreciated my writings against the Muslim Brotherhood, warning about what was coming on, and they took the ball and they ran with it. So I think that the credit really goes to those Egyptians and those that are talking in the Arabic media as opposed to me.
Today, the controversy still is going hot and heavy about the beheading of the second American. ISIS is saying they're going to decapitate a British subject. We have President Obama in, where is he in now? Is he in the United Kingdom? And has he left Ukraine? I think he did.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
And mind you, Joe Biden, where the heck did he get the kahunas from? He said, and this is a quote, "We will follow ISIS to the gates of hell because that's where they reside."
You see, that's amazing. That's what needs to be said.
Exactly.
Because I was listening to clips today where President Obama was talking about the beheading of the second American, and he's been using this soft diplomatic language for so long that he can't break out of it anymore. And you even saw this during the campaign in 2012. That spark wasn't there from Obama in 2008. And now it's actually affecting our national security because when you listen to his tone, it was not intimidating. It was not passionate. It sounded like he was running on 2 hours of sleep, and it just was not the type of tone that the world needs to hear, that we need to hear, and that ISIS supporters need to hear. So I'm glad that Vice President Biden stood up and he made a comment like that because it was very much needed.
It sure was. This is the big difference as I see it between Russia and the United States. Number one, President Obama's a politician first, whereas in Russia, Putin, he's a warrior. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes with our very special guest this hour, Ryan Mauro, who is the National Security Analyst for the Clarion Project. Their website is www.clarionproject.org. Ryan and I will be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com. Welcome back, everyone. Ryan Mauro is our special guest, www.clarionproject.org. Ryan, what do you think happened to Joe Biden? Why do you think that he came out so strong and said what the American public needed to hear? Shouldn't this have been the statement coming from the head honcho, President Obama?
Oh, without a doubt, because when President Obama talks, all of the media report it. So even if he delivers it when he seems to be falling asleep and without passion, even if he delivers a statement that's strong in writing, that can do a lot of good. He hasn't even done that. As for Biden, I think he's just genuine. I think he was genuinely outraged. It's possible he also heard the same clips of Obama that I heard and said, man, I need to step it up. But what I've been saying is that we need right now to hear a little bit more of a tough guy that says to ISIS passionately, you killed 2 Americans, and now is the time in your history that will record that your downfall began. Yep. You know, some language like that, so that you can take away their narrative that America is weak, look at their president, and we are the strong ones. And Vice President Biden's statement was stronger than the one I recommended.
Yeah, and he said, once again, Exonation, we'll follow ISIS to the gates of hell because that's where they reside. Wow, powerful stuff. Let me ask you this. Is it possible that Joe Biden will be on the ticket, the presidential ticket, in 2 more years? What is it, in 2016? You have your next presidential elections?
The gossip in the D.C. circles, which I get somewhat exposed to, and it's the most gossipy place on earth, pretty much everybody agrees that he wants to run very badly. But the big question is Hillary. I mean, obviously, if she runs, then everyone else gets pushed aside. Her lead in the Democratic primary is far beyond anything that she had even in 2008 when Obama ended up defeating her. But there's still some people who think Hillary isn't going to run. So who knows how this plays out?
Well, how do you think Hillary would have handled the ISIS affair, considering that a lot of people still blame her for Benghazi?
Right. Well, if based on people I've talked to who are connected with the White House, and also a lot of this has come out in recent interviews, Hillary is much more of a strategic thinker. And right from the beginning, she was saying to President Obama that you don't have the option of ignoring what's happening in Syria because that situation is going to explode and it's going to affect everything else in the region. What she was referring to is the fact that there's a civil war in Syria between the dictatorship of Bashar Assad, who supports terrorism. He's helped kill American soldiers, and he's an ally of Iran, bad guy, and rebels who are now led by radical Islamic forces connected to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. There are much weaker, more moderate forces on the ground that have asked for U.S. assistance from the beginning that are increasingly falling behind in power against ISIS and Al-Qaeda just because they have no outside help. And Hillary, according to the reports and her own claims, right from the beginning was saying to President Obama, eventually you're going to need someone you can work with on the ground in Syria to combat the jihadists, and you can't miss this opportunity.
If Hillary was to get into the White House, would it be beneficial having Bill Clinton, a former president, in the office of the sitting president? Like, wouldn't that mean the Americans are getting double, getting 2 for the price of 1?
Sure, purely from the angle of experience, I mean, you can't beat that. The experience criteria is marked off multiple times over. And Bill Clinton, and obviously I disagree with some things Hillary Clinton has done, as Bill Clinton has done, as I do with any politician. But when the people were being killed because of how the Quran was being treated, it was going to be burned, Bill Clinton said something very interesting and insightful that the media didn't really report on. And what he said is that our response should be that this is a product of a shame-based culture. He identified the fact that the root cause is culture, not anything we're doing. Right. And that the Muslim world has to believe that their God and their religion is strong enough to withstand people criticizing their holy book and burning it. I mean, that's a great statement to make. So who knows what a future Clinton administration would look like. But I was impressed by that statement by Bill Clinton.
As everyone knows, there were the videos that were taken of the beheadings of the 2 Americans that basically went around the world, not only on YouTube but on mainstream media. But according to some sources, Ryan, it says that this is starting to backfire because, and this is from Beirut, the AFP, brutal beheadings recorded on video by the jihadist Islamic State are intended to terrorize the group's enemies, but are also angering and alienated the Muslims the group claims to represent.
Right. And the reason that's happening is because of a few different reasons. You beheaded an